Machiavelli Mills TV here, man. I really got a quick, really not a quick question. I got a question. How do y'all feel about Steve Harvey? Do y'all like him? Do y'all dislike him? Do you like the things he says or do you like the things he does? Or do you not? And tell me why. Real quick, because my father has never really liked Steve Harvey. And for years, I'm like, Pops, why you don't really fool with him? He never really fooled with Steve Harvey. And it's been dating back for a while. He told me he never really thought Steve was that funny to him. He never really laughed at a lot of Steve's jokes that much, even when he was doing Kings of Comedy. Now, me on the other hand, maybe because I was so young, I was a child, I thought certain segments of Steve Harvey's stand-up was funny. The Sister Odell thing, I thought that was funny. I thought the Titanic story, I thought that was funny. And I really liked the Steve Harvey show. I'm talking about the like sitcom show, the TV show that he had with Wendy Raquel Robinson. He had Cedric the Entertainer on there. And what's my man Merlin Santana? God bless the dead. When he had him on there, I thought that show was brilliant. I thought it was dope. I thought it was funny and lively. And I thought the chemistry between the characters was, I thought it was really cool and unique. But Pops, he like, nah, he don't fool with Steve. Steve ain't that funny to him. And he doesn't really like how Steve tries to act like he is this big relationship guru when the man, he like Pops, like he been married like 3 times. He act like he just know everything about women, like he's an all-seeing eye for women, and he's trying to tell women all this advice. But what was his advice when what did he had his advice when he was married? And I'm like, well, Pops, people live and they learn and they experience new things and they learn as they go along. But Pops like, nah, I ain't feeling that. And me personally, there are certain things that I don't like that Steve does. For example, telling women to think like a man. I don't think no woman, men and women aren't designed. Now I'm not God. I don't know what God was. I don't know what God's intentions were for us on this earth. But I don't think men and women were created to think the same, to act the same, and we are completely different beings. Now we have certain similarities between each other, but I think there are many differences between one another. And telling women to act like men can disrupt. I don't know, man. I just think it'll have women living a life that a soul life in competition with men, and I don't think that's how it should be. Women are women. Women are women and men are men. But I think the think like a man thing will have women in competition with men and thinking that sometimes thinking like, hey, thinking like they are like men in certain situations. And I'm like, that's not a good idea. I don't think that's the right message to send across. To think like a man and act like a man, because in certain instances, we have double standards in society. And there are things that men do that will be applauded, and things that women do that people will degrade them for. There are things that women do that people will applaud, and things that men do that people will degrade them for. So I don't think we should be designed to think the same or act the same. I don't believe that. Another thing that recently happened, he basically was making it seem like all people who are living in poverty, who are, I guess, lower income, we shouldn't be sleeping 8 hours. That's not true. It shouldn't be. We shouldn't be getting 8 hours of rest. You need to be up working and you need to be up hustling like everybody else. That's the only way for you to get rich, is to be up and not be sleeping all those recommended hours. And then this is the thing, this is the way he said it, like, the stock market opens at 7 o'clock and your ass is asleep. And your ass is asleep. And it's not always what you say, it's how you say it. And he made it seem like he was basically talking down to poor people, like, you ain't getting nothing because you want to be asleep all the time. Wake your ass up. That's how it sounded to me. Like, a sway in the morning intro. Wake your ass up. It sounded like he was saying that. Excuse my language, but that's how it sounded. And it comes across really bad when you're talking to your audience, and your audience is comprised of people who are of lower income. It looks very bad, you know what I mean? Especially with Steve. You used to be of the lower income. Now, you've done quite well for yourself. I give this to Steve. He has his name on a lot of different things. He got a lot of different hustles, a lot of different TV shows he's hosting and doing, and he make a lot of money. But you were once of living in poverty, a struggling comedian, struggling to make a name for yourself, and struggling to come onto the scene. So it's just what you got to be mindful of your audience, who your audience is, and not to talk down on them like as if acting like getting sleep. You should be ashamed of getting rest. Like you need to wake up. You getting rest. You ain't gonna get nothing accomplished in your life. That's how it sounds like he was coming across, almost condescending. The same way I was mad at Dame Dash when he was talking to DJ Envy at the Breakfast Club, as if he was talking to the audience. The Dame was talking to the Breakfast Club's audience and DJ Envy as if they should be ashamed for having a regular 9 to 5 when Dame got his funds from illegal matters. So it's like when Steve was talking about, your ass asleep and all of that. I'm like, yo, it doesn't sound right, bro. You got to fix that up, man. And first of all, people don't listen to everything that every don't listen to everything that a high up entertainer says. Don't take it as like the end all be all of everything. Hell, don't even take everything that I say as the end all be all of everything. Sometimes you got to just research things and find out things on your own, and then you make decisions about certain things. I'm just here to tell y'all my thoughts and opinions and hear what you all have to say in return. But like, get y'all rest, man. We not designed to be sleeping, getting 4 hours of rest, 3 hours of rest. Even though we do it a lot, I do it a lot. I should be getting more rest because plenty of times I find myself, shoot. Sometimes you find yourself at work dozing off. You find yourself having some headaches because you didn't get enough sleep at night. You're not gonna be as efficient in your job and efficient in every other thing that you're doing. You're not gonna be paying attention as much as you should if you're not getting enough rest. People have all type of health problems, stress, all type of high blood pressure, have strokes from not getting a lot of rest. Y'all gotta get rest. Please get y'all rest. Steve talking this talk. Yes, we know that a lot of millionaires don't sleep. They stay up all night. I stayed up all night in college doing papers. I stay up a lot of nights making videos and all of that. But I know at the end of the day, getting my rest is important, as you should. So I didn't like how he was talking that your ass need to be sleeping all that. I'm like, bro, chill out. Another thing that I didn't like that Steve did, now when he had Monique at his show, right, and he basically was telling her to apologize to Whoopi Goldberg. Now, mind you, I criticized Monique for how she went about doing things. I felt like that, yeah, I know that there are black women who are undermined and lowballed in offers, and I know that the black woman is, I know that the black woman is a lot of times forgotten about and neglected in a lot of situations. I'm positive of that. But I feel like that Netflix gave her that deal based upon how hot she was, not based upon. I didn't think it was based upon the mirrors that she's a black woman because they gave Tiffany Haddish a whole lot of bread, even though I don't think Tiffany is funny, but she's popular. I didn't agree with everything Monique was saying, but I will say this, man. When Steve told her basically she gotta it's stuff she can't be doing because we black, and basically you got people to feed, as if like if something, and he made it seem like as though if something is going wrong, you just shut up, collect your bread, take care of your people, and go on about your business. And it's other ways to do things. Now I agree, it is other ways to go about doing things and getting a job done. But I don't agree with this whole premise that everything needs to be done quietly, nor do I agree with the pro premise that you need to just be quiet and get your money. Now, I do believe in playing the game to beat the game. And when I say that, that means like, you stay quiet, you stay to yourself, you stay chilling, you stay in the cut, you do your job well, you rise in the ranks, you show your worth, and you get that big payday, that big check where they know how valuable you are and they recognize that you are needed. And then at that point, once you making sure your family is taken care of financially, you voice your opinion. You speak up and you speak on the wrongdoings that's happening to your people. You speak on the ill that's come along to your people, and you use your voice to empower your people as well. I don't believe in staying silent especially really once you get your bread too, once you're secure, they can't do nothing to you because they recognize they need you more than you need them. It's like when LeBron James first came into the league. Yes, LeBron was playing the game. He was, he wasn't cooning. And that's when I say play the game, I don't mean cooning. I don't mean shucking and jiving. I mean, cool. You stay cool. You don't really say too much. You get your bread. You do your job exemplary. You do an exemplary job. You do what you got to do. But once you get that big paycheck, and you realize once you become that top dog, you start voicing your opinions about social injustices. You start speaking out about the ills done to your people. You start, writing articles talking about these issues that we got. You start shooting documentaries and putting your people on and in position of power and talk about. You start talking about the inequalities that exist in certain social structures and certain economic structures and stuff like that, like LeBron is doing. He's talking about all these different things. Police brutality. He started doing it front and center. Once he got to that level where can't nobody touch him, and he know they need them more than he need them. He like, I'm not gonna stay quiet. I'm not gonna stay quiet. I'm gonna use my voice on my platform to speak up for my people and to tell the world about what's going on and what things tell the world about what's going on that's unfair to my people. Steve made it seem like just keep getting your bread, just try to change things behind the scenes and don't do it right now. It's the same premise I hate when people say when Colin Kaepernick kneeled for the national anthem and you have people say why he got to do it there. Why he couldn't just do it in another setting? That wasn't the venue for that. That wasn't the setting for him to do that protest. Well, hell, if I don't say it right now, if I don't do it right now during the game that so many people love, they're not gonna get my message. They're not gonna listen to it if I do it on BET because they don't watch BET. But they love this damn football. So Colin Kaepernick knew when he did it right there, the world was gonna pay attention to what he was saying, and he knew that hey, they gonna pay attention to me right here. This is the place to do it because they love them some football and they gonna see it now and it's gonna be a part of their lives because I'm a part of a sport that they love. You know what I mean? So that's staying quiet behind the scenes. No, do it on the TV shows that they love to watch. Do it on your show. Do it in primetime television, and don't be like when you get your bread. Don't be quiet and don't choose we got to do it behind the scenes. No, stick your chest out proudly. Be a man of conviction. Be a man of honor and integrity. And I believe in being a stand-up man, especially once you secure your family's well-being. You get your people in the door. Okay, I got my bread to put my people on and let them indoors. But at the same time, I got my bread where I can speak up and I'm at the top of the totem pole. I am the pinnacle of the talent. They can't do nothing to me. I'm gonna voice my opinion, and if they get mad, so be it. It is what it is. So I didn't agree with Steve basically saying play the game and just like don't say nothing, say everything behind closed doors. Because there are things in life, I'm gonna say this too. There are things in life that are bigger, that are more important than a paycheck. And you got people to feed. Hopefully your bread is secure, at the time you spoke, like at the time that you're preparing this, because, it's a likelihood that you will lose a lot of the opportunities that you once could have. LeBron waited till he got his bread, till he got his status high, and he's saying what the hell he want to now and doing what the hell he want with a group of black brothers that are excellent. But at the same time, my family would also have to know that there are things more important than money, and I'm not willing to risk my integrity, my dignity, just to have a big bag. There are things worth more than the bag. And I think that's what Monique was trying to get across to Steve. And I think Steve has made so much money sometimes that he loses touch with the people on a lot of different things. He loses touch with how to talk to his people. He loses touch with the feelings and the sentiments of his people a lot. And I think that a lot of times he just says things because he's looking for a reaction out of the audiences, a reaction out of the women, and get that. It's kind of like the preacher trying to get that amen so bad that he really just saying stuff, and he really not taking his time to deliver the message properly. Sometimes Steve gets so caught up in that he just starts saying stuff, and it's a disconnect from him and his black people. And I think the important message, like again, you need your rest, guys. Get your rest, y'all. Sleep. Get your rest. You need it. But an important message from that, I really didn't like that Monique thing, man. You play the game to beat the game, not play the game to stay quiet. You don't play the game to coon or shuck and jive. And I'm not saying that Steve. I'm not calling Steve a coon, but I'm saying that type of rhetoric, basically, like just be quiet and we can't do that. We black. Yes, the hell we can do that. When you the biggest, when you got that status like that, you can. Hell, Muhammad Ali even did it, and he risked everything. And I know everybody not built for the same wars. But shoot, you get somebody like LeBron. Steve, you got your bread and you got to that top of that pinnacle. Don't be scared to voice your opinion after you made your bread and you able to put people in certain positions of power, like the people that look like you. Don't be quiet on certain issues when you know they exist. Don't be quiet and try to do it quietly. Everybody got to know the issues that exist, and they won't know it and they won't address those things unless you speak it loudly and in front of people. And I applaud LeBron James and Colin Kaepernick for doing those things. Colin Kaepernick got that $125 million contract. And look, he was speaking out. He was speaking out in spite of that. Now, people say, oh, he lost his starting job. But hell, the man got his bread, though. And he was talking. He was talking and talking. He's still talking and talking, making people aware of the issues that need to be talked about affecting the black community. Sometimes I think Steve has gotten so much money that it's certain things he just like, I'm gonna leave that alone. We can talk about that behind scenes because I want this bread to keep coming in. But the bread gonna come, brother. It's gonna come, player. Your people gonna support you, and it's other people that's gonna be forced to support you because they know how much of a talent that you are and that they will back you. When LeBron was speaking his talk, I think that made people. I think that made Nike. Now I don't know everybody's sentiments at Nike, but I think that made Nike want to support Colin Kaepernick when LeBron was doing it. You know what I mean? I really think that made Nike say, you know what, we need to stand behind this because LeBron. We respect LeBron's opinion. He's a top guy on our brand. He is the guy on our brand. So we respect what he's saying and we're gonna listen to him. And this is a real issue that needs to be addressed, and we support it because our top guy is supporting it. You can make these corporations get behind you just from flexing your power that you have. So Steve could flex his power and make these corporations stand behind the things that he wants for black people if he were to speak up and not try to talk about it behind closed doors and say, we black, we can't do this and we can't say that. Yes, you can. Our ancestors did it when they had way less money than you did, Steve. So I don't agree with that, man. Again, I understand the premise of playing the game to beat the game like LeBron James did, but I don't understand the premise of once you get your paper, don't talk about it out front in public. You don't talk about it publicly. You talk about it privately and have private meetings. No, no, no. We're going to address these issues up front and personal. You know, we're going to let everybody know what these issues are. We're not going to hide it, and we're not going to shuck and jive at all. So those are my thoughts, man. But my pops, he don't really fool with Steve. Again, you know, hey, I understand Pops like you can't be this big relationship guru and you've been married all these different times. My thing is you can't tell women to act like men either or think like a man. I don't believe in that. But those are just my thoughts on it. Y'all tell me what y'all think in the comment section below. I'm out.